You feel it before you even understand it. That tightness in your chest, that restless, uneasy feeling, that quiet voice in your head asking, what if this goes wrong? And the strange part is, nothing is actually happening. You're just sitting there, maybe scrolling, maybe thinking, maybe about to do something simple. And yet, your body reacts as if something is wrong, as if something is at stake, as if something is about to be taken from you. But what? What exactly are you afraid of losing? In this video, based on the writings of Epictetus, we help you understand something most people never fully grasp about anxiety. Not how to cope with it, not how to temporarily reduce it, but what actually causes it at its root. And more importantly, how to see it so clearly that it begins to lose its grip on you. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you 5 simple but powerful tips you can apply in your daily life to start freeing yourself from anxiety. Epictetus was a Greek philosopher born around 50 AD. He began life as a slave in the Roman Empire and despite that, went on to become one of the most influential thinkers in Stoic philosophy. He didn't write books himself, but his teachings were recorded by his students in a collection of works known as, amongst others, the Discourses. The Discourses are not abstract theory, they are conversations, practical, direct, sometimes brutally honest reflections on how to live, how to think, and how to deal with suffering. And in one of those conversations, Epictetus breaks down anxiety in a way that feels almost uncomfortable in its simplicity. He doesn't treat it as a mystery. He treats it as a misunderstanding. There's a question that Epictetus asked whenever he saw someone anxious. Not to comfort them, not to reassure them, but to expose something deeper. He would ask, what is it that this person wants? Because unless they want something that isn't up to them, why would they be anxious? Think about that. Your anxiety is not random, it's not meaningless, but it is pointing to something you're trying to control, that perhaps you cannot. Imagine a musician alone in their room, playing beautifully, effortlessly, no fear, no tension, no anxiety. But then they step onto a stage. It's the same person with the same skill, and it's the same song, but suddenly everything changes. Their hands shake, their heart races, their mind starts to spiral. But why? Did they forget how to play? No. They added something invisible but heavy. They no longer just went to play well. They want something else. They want the audience to like them. And that is not up to them. This is where anxiety begins. Not in what you do, but in what you attach to it. You don't just want to do well in your job. You want to be respected. You don't just want to speak. You want to be admired. You don't just want to live your life. You want it to go a certain way, to be approved, to be validated, to be certain. And the moment your happiness depends on any of these things, which are ultimately outside your control, you become vulnerable. You become anxious. This is the hidden structure of anxiety that is set out in the Discourses. And once you see it, you start to notice it everywhere. Before you send that message, you're not anxious about the message, you're anxious about how they'll respond. Before you walk into that room, you're not anxious about walking. You're anxious about how you'll be perceived. Before you make a decision, you're not anxious about the action. You're anxious about the outcome. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You've built your peace on things you do not control. Seneca once said that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. But Epictetus goes even deeper than this. He doesn't just say we imagine problems. He is essentially saying that we are misunderstanding reality itself. This is because most people don't actually know what is theirs. They live life like strangers in their own lives, reacting, fearing, chasing, without ever asking, what is actually under my control? Epictetus compares this to someone living in a city, without knowing its laws or customs. Imagine that. You've lived somewhere your whole life, but you don't know what's allowed, you don't know what's yours, you don't know what belongs to others, so you act blindly. You make decisions without understanding consequences. You panic, you hesitate, because everything feels uncertain. It appears that in Epictetus' view, that's how most people live psychologically. They don't know the boundaries of control, so they try to control everything, even the uncontrollable. As a consequence of this, they fail, they suffer, and wonder why. Because here's the rule, and it's simple but brutal. There are things that are up to you and things that are not. And if you confuse the two, you will suffer. So this begs the question, what is up to you? Epictetus would say, your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, your values are all up to you. But what is not up to you are other people's opinions, outcomes, your reputation, the past, or the future. All of these can cause anxiety if we believe we can and should control them. And yet, which one do you spend most of your time worrying about? This is why anxiety feels so overwhelming, because you are trying to control the uncontrollable while neglecting the only thing you actually can control. And the cost of that is your peace. Friedrich Nietzsche once said that he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. But most people don't just lack a why. They allow anxiety to enter their lives and cause a lack of clarity. They don't know where they end and where the world begins. So they try to manage everything, and in doing so, they lose themselves. Let's make this real. You're about to meet someone important. Your mind starts racing. What if they don't like me? What if I say something wrong? But notice what's happening. Every fear you have is about something outside your control. You cannot control their reaction or their judgment, so your mind spirals trying to solve something unsolvable. And your body responds accordingly. Tension, sweating, shaking, not because something is wrong, but because you've placed your well-being into the hands of something uncertain. You have, Epictetus would say, misunderstood anxiety. So let's come back to you right now. What is making you anxious? Is it something you can control or something you can't? Because your answer to those questions determines everything. If it is up to you, then your anxiety is coming from illusion, from attachment, from misunderstanding, and the solution is not to fight the feeling, but to correct the belief, to remind yourself This is not mine. And slowly, over time, your mind begins to let go. Not all at once, but gradually, until one day you find yourself in the same situation that once made you anxious, and something feels different. And now, here are some simple but powerful ways you can begin applying this in your daily life. Number 1. Each time you feel anxious, pause and ask yourself one question. This is the question that is the essence of Stoicism. What am I trying to control right now? Is it someone's opinion? Is it an outcome? Is it the future? Just seeing it clearly weakens its hold over you. Number 2. Separate what is yours from what is not. For example, your effort is yours, your intention is yours, your actions are yours. Everything else, let it go, and remind yourself, I control what I do, not what happens. Number 3. Practice small acts of letting go every day. Don't start with the biggest fear in your life. Start small. Send the message and don't check your phone. Speak honestly without rehearsing perfection. Make a decision without needing certainty. Train your mind. Number 4. Stop trying to eliminate anxiety. Instead, listen to it, because anxiety is pointing you to attachment. It's showing you exactly where you've made something too important. When you understand the message, the feeling begins to lose its intensity. And finally, number 5. Redefine what success means. If success is getting the outcome you want, you will also be anxious. But if success is simply this, did I act according to my values? Then you win every time, regardless of the result. And that's the shift. Because peace doesn't come from controlling life, it comes from understanding what was never yours to control in the first place. And maybe that's what freedom really is.